is open for the first time for a Cowboys game in over 2 calendar years. Oh, they closed it.
The most gut-wrenching moment from Week 11 was this.
And it's blocked!
Thank you, Chicago, for making everyone forget about the most gut-wrenching moment from Week 10. The Broncos carried the honor of having the most heartbreaking loss of the season for just 1 week. I am happy to pass along the crown. Today, I, Brandon Perna, knower of football things, will give you the real winners and losers from NFL Week 11. Despite a couple blowouts, Week 11 delivered. The Lions are God tier, the Ravens are on fraud watch, the Bills silenced the Chiefs, and children across this entire country have been cured of ADHD because of the most powerful drug known to man, the Blop 10 plays. Blop 10, George Pickens signaled first down after a 2-yard gain. That was not a first down. Honestly, I like it. Every yard in a Ravens-Steelers rivalry is hard-earned, and I think it's worth celebrating. Blop 9, and the Oscar goes to Caleb Williams for Best Actor in a Leading Blop. Ah, so that's why he went to school in LA. He's a theater kid pretending to be a quarterback. Blop 8, Michael Pittman lets the ball hit him square in the face. Imagine Joe Flacco not having the strongest arm on your team. Blop 7, Dawson Knox decks the cameraman. CBS gives us the angle we all needed here. My favorite part of this was that Dawson Knox waited until after he had helped up both of those fallen technicians to signal first down. This is like one of those found footage movies where the guy holding the camera finally dies. Blop 6, never trust a Canadian to flip a coin.
Check. I have to ask, right? What do you want?
At least the ref, in very Canadian fashion, was apologetic.
What do you want? All right, Toronto.
Blop 5, at DeBearArk said, we'll never see him again on Twitter if what happened to the Denver Broncos happened to Chicago against Green Bay. Well, buddy, I've got bad news for you.
And it's blocked!
Luckily, he appears to be a man of his word. Blop 4.
Cook absolutely blasted his backside.
That silence at the end of the clip, that was Jim and Tony putting their hands over the mics and laughing as hard as they could for 5 seconds. Blop 3, Daniel Jones got benched on his bye week. Like the Broncos before them, the Giants have demoted Dan Jones all the way down to third-string QB to ensure he doesn't get hurt, so they're not on the hook for any of his injury guarantees. And as sad as I am that Horsecock Lock won't be QB1 in New York, my Italian heritage had me gabagooling in my pants as soon as I found out Tamara Cutlets would get the nod. Blop 2, Derrick Henry fumbled on the first play. It might be the rarest occurrence, and not just sports, but in the world. That would be like a US president receiving 100% of the vote and then accidentally firing the nukes on an ally during his inauguration. The only man to survive that scenario, by the way, would be Mike Tomlin. Blop 1, the Bills may be 9-2, but their fan base, Bills Mafia, remains undefeated. You sick fucks. Blop 0, the Cowboys and their stadium. Jerry World is falling apart just like the team it houses.
A piece of metal fell from the roof onto the field.
You know it's bad when the statistical graphics of your team are making waves like memes. The Cowboys started Cooper Rush against the Texans, and again, their offense is so bad that they ran another fake punt that did not convert. Second one in the last 3 weeks. And Dallas has become the first team ever to trail by 20 points in 6 straight home games. I will say one nice thing about dem boys, Kevontae Turpin is still fast as hell. He hit the fastest speed on the field since 2020, clocking in at 22.36 miles per hour. Joe Mixon carried the Texans offense with 3 rushing TDs and a $109 on the ground. CJ Stroud threw a bad pick early, but would have had a much more impressive box score had Nico Collins' 77-yard touchdown not been called back for holding. This game was honestly closer than it should have been by halftime, but credit my winning big man Derek Barnett for the 34-10 ultimate routing by the Houston Texans for his thick 6. and a blop as big as the stadium falling apart. Poor Cowboys tackle Tyler Guyton not only gave up the sack, but recovered the fumble and then fumbled it back to Houston for that thick 6. The Raiders and Dolphins gave us a tight end showcase. Jonnu Smith came out of nowhere for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Brock Bowers might already be the best in the league, adding a $126 and a touchdown of his own. This was almost a game at the end, but it's still probably not a good idea to throw the ball directly to Jalen Ramsey. The Tennessee Titans had the longest play of the season. Yes, the Titans. The team sponsored by Hellmann's Mayonnaise. Will Levis hooked up with Nick Westbrook-Ikini for 98 yards, but Tennessee eventually got hosed on an unnecessary roughness call in the end zone that really changed the game. You're supposed to let the opposition catch the ball, Tennessee. The only hard hits the NFL allows anymore is when a Chief is driving a car. 3 total touchdowns from Gekbus, and his most impressive throw came after this spin move in the collapsing pocket, and a pick from Harrison Smith, his Secretary of Defense, sealed the game to push Minnesota to 8-2. I, of course, recapped the entire Broncos-Falcons game here. Just remember, Bo Nix threw 4 touchdowns, and all the other rookie quarterbacks this week combined for 3 touchdowns. And that includes Michael Penix, who played long enough to take a sack. My winning stat? Thank you, Johnny Barks. Look at how good Bo Nix has been since yelling at Sean Payton. If you want to win Rookie of the Year, Caleb, I suggest punching Matt Eberflus in the wiener. Oh, this is Manscaped, not my OnlyFans Christmas special. There we go. Oh my God, I can't believe that we're at that point of the year where we've got to think about holiday shopping. That's right, the Balladays are back by Manscaped, sponsoring today's episode. This time, the Balladays are for your face. They're not suggesting balls on the face. Luckily, I'm here to make your gift list a lot easier to cross off. Use my link below, manscaped.com/goodsports, to get their full-fledged face and neck shaver, the Chairman Pro. If you have a dad, a brother-in-law, hell, an aunt who needs a hint, I suggest giving them Manscaped's latest innovation, the electric foil face and neck shaver. Anyone who needs to shave their face will love this. The Chairman Pro features a 360-degree contouring head with flex adjust technology to pivot and adjust to the contours of your face and neck. No more struggling to hit those nooks and crannies hidden because of your stunning jawline or your waving neck flaps. Manscaped designed a shaver to get you a super close shave and a stubble trimmer for when you want to keep that rugged look. Both blade options are designed to reduce razor burn and irritation. Plus, it's waterproof, so you can shave your neck in the shower. So if you are looking to elevate your grooming routine or give the perfect gift, the Chairman Pro is the ultimate tool for the job. With its advanced features and Manscaped's trusted quality, you're gonna love the way you look and feel. Just use my link below, manscaped.com/goodsports, for 20% off your order, plus free shipping and the perfect holiday gift. Dashing through something. Losers? Kickers. Fucking all of them. Jake Elliott missed 2 kicks and an extra point. Justin Tucker missed 2, and it cost the Ravens a win. Josh Carty, the Rams kicker, missed 1. Thank God the Browns lost by 21. Otherwise, Dustin Hopkins missing 2 kicks would look terrible. Tyler Slap-out-of-base missed his first PAT, but nobody hurt more than the Bengals and Bears. As Evan, I have less money to my name than Danny Dimes McPherson missed 2 potential game winners in the fourth quarter, and Cairo Santos had his blocked. With all of those missed kicks, Eddie Pinero surpassed Justin Tucker as the most accurate kicker in NFL history. Maybe the only kicker who truly did his job on Sunday was Chris Boswell, who now has 2 wins this season where he scored every point for the Steelers. Winning teammates? The Eagles. They did a tremendous job bailing out Jake Elliott on Thursday Night Football. Rarely does a team win a game by 8 points where their kicker misses 2 field goals and an extra point. Philly did just that to take a commanding lead in the NFC East. And I think it's a big testament to the evolution of their defense with Vic Fangio as their coordinator. My losing running back goes to Saquon Barkley. No, he's great. Saquon's great. He played great. He was the reason the Eagles took over the game late and won, but he was tackled on the 1-yard line. Again, if he played on any other team, he might single-handedly be winning everyone's fantasy leagues right now. Instead, on his 9 carries that have ended at the 1-yard line, they have been followed by 7 Jalen Hurts rushing touchdowns and 9 Jalen Hurts rushes. Jalen Hurts will be enshrined in the Hall of Fame as the greatest goal line thief in NFL history. Winning defender? Definitely none of the 12 Bears defenders who also jumped off sides that allowed a touchdown on this play. Instead, it's going to Zach Bond, who had 15 total tackles, a tackle for a loss, and a pass breakup against the Commanders in the win. Fangio moved Bond from outside linebacker to inside linebacker this offseason, and it's paying dividends for the Birds defense. And Bond is probably going to his first Pro Bowl and getting a big payday after the season. Winning forgottens? Every receiver you forgot about scored in the Saints-Browns game, including Elijah Moore. Jerry Jeudy torched the Saints defense for an 89-yard touchdown, one of the longest TDs in Browns history. Shortly after, MVS torches the Browns defense for a 71-yard touchdown. That's MVS's 3rd TD in the last 2 games. Jerry Jeudy, Elijah Moore, MVS, and Taysom Hill combined for 6 touchdowns. MVS is the weirdest receiver ever. He's on his 4th NFL team, 3rd team in a year. He was an average receiver with Aaron Rodgers, a bad receiver with Patrick Mahomes until the playoffs, and the Bills cut him after catching just 2 Josh Allen passes. He connects with Derek Carr, and now he looks like one of the best receivers in the league. Another surprise from this game? Please forgive me for doing this. My winning running back's going to Taysom fucking Hill, who is allegedly a quarterback, but had 7 carries for 138 yards, including a 75-yard TD in the winning effort against the Browns. Hill also completed an 18-yard pass, and he did have a pick. But those are quarterback stats, so who cares? It's always a good day at the office when you can average almost 20 yards per carry. Also, holy crap, he had 8 catches for 50 yards. Losing legacy? Aaron Rodgers, it's ruined. Aaron Rodgers officially has a shittier win percentage for the Jets than his predecessors, Zach Wilson and Sam Darnold. Oh, yuck. The Jets fought back in this game, but their loss can really be attributed to their slow start on offense, which recorded 0 first downs on their first 5 possessions. Pretty good after that. Rodgers didn't break 200 passing yards despite his 2 passing touchdowns. Losing running back? It's going to Jonathan Taylor. Both teams finished with exactly 91 rushing yards, but Breece Hall had 2 touchdowns and 130 all-purpose yards. JTT got 24 carries and managed just 57 yards. That's 2.4 per carry. If Indy wants to actually be competitive, they got to get better at running the ball. And it starts with Anthony Richardson, my winning bulldozer. Holy fuck, Anthony Richardson just obliterated Jalen Mills. Rest in peace, Jalen. On his way into the end zone for the 1-yard touchdown. Richardson is also my I'm back from the dead bitches player this week. Benched for his eliteness just 2 weeks ago, Richardson returned from detention to defeat the lowly Jets. Anthony Richardson rushed for 2 TDs, including that one where he erased Jalen Mills. The second coming because A.D. Mitchell went to the Saquon Barkley School of almost scoring touchdowns. Josh Downs laid out for his QB and also hauled in a TD. And god damn it, Richardson did the impossible and completed 66.7% of his passes, including this one he threw to the fans. You gotta keep Jets fans entertained somehow, so there you go. Winning quarterback? Well, I would love to give this to Bo Nix for his 4 TD and 300-plus yard gain, but I've already waxed poetic about that game in my recap. Instead, I'm giving it to Matthew Stafford for his work up in Foxborough. Stafford had thrown a touchdown pass in 34 different stadiums in his career, but had somehow never found the end zone in Gillette. Well, you can make it 35 now because not only did he throw a touchdown, he threw 4 of them. The Rams needed all 4 in their win over the Patriots. The lob to Colby Parkinson, a thing of beauty. Puka Nacua had a touchdown catch so impressive, he had to immediately run to the blue medical tent to hide his tent that he pitched by turning himself on like all the great ones do, but my favorite was that dart to Cooper Kupp against cover 0. You know you put it right on the money when the receiver gets to jog it out from the 35-yard line. The Rams are now an even 5-5 and still firmly in play for the weirdest NFC West maybe of all time. Side note, sorry Drake, you're getting side noted. Drake may very well be the future for the Patriots. He looked pretty good in a loss, but until he learns to fool the refs into believing this is not a fumble, but a tuck, he's got a long way to go in Patriot quarterback folklore. He also needs to get married, have kids, and then neglect all of them. And coming out of nowhere, Rams third-round safety, Cameron Kinchens, who had the best game of his rookie season. He forced a fumble and picked off a Drake May pass to seal the win. Classic rookie-on-rookie crime. Losing quarterback? Can I go there? Permission to go there, everyone? It's Patrick Mahomes. You are the losing quarterback of the week, Mahomes. Pat has been flirting with disaster for large portions of the season, but has always done enough to keep games close and help his team edge out 9 wins. Edging wins is fine, but in No Nut November, you just look like a perv who can't finish, Pat. Against the arch-rival Bills, Mahomes started the game with one of the worst interceptions I've ever seen him throw. And to make matters worse, he threw it to a guy in a Guardian cap. That's like losing an ass-kicking contest to Lieutenant Dan. And his final pass was the nail in the coffin to end the undefeated season for the Kansas City Chiefs. Did he throw 3 touchdowns? Sure. Yeah, I guess he did. But those 2 picks were massive. And he also finished the game with under 6 yards per attempt. And I will be honest, I could not pass up the opportunity to make him my losing quarterback because I don't know how many more chances we're going to get here. Winning sideline? This one. Now you know how Isaiah Likely feels, Chiefs fans.
Just didn't drag the back foot. His right foot's in. He dragged it before he caught the ball.
My winning terrorist? Sean Blood Money McDermott. Sean has led the Bills to win 9 of the last 11. Khalil Shakir had the winning catch on 3rd and 9 with 4:30 left in the 4th quarter. He takes a brutal shot and somehow secures the ball. And then Josh Allen gets the winning run on 4th and 2 with the game hanging in the balance. Oh my God, I love you, Josh Allen. This game-clinching, angry, bulldozing, big dick, soul-snatching, demoralizing, franchise-destroying, retirement-inducing, admitting our barbecue is overrated run put the Bills at 30 points. Kansas City hadn't given up more than 28 since Jesus was born. So this is impressive. Losers, the Browns, Cowboys, and Raiders, who are prisons disguised as football teams. Those 3 teams nearly broke Amari Cooper. Cooper had a great grab in this game, but just listen to him discuss how long it's been since he experienced joy.
It's the first time in a long time that I've actually felt joy, from winning this game, from just the way we played.
The Joe Burrow Award, which goes to the quarterback who no matter what he does, his team loses. Honestly, it could have gone to Joe Burrow, but it's going to Caleb Williams. Caleb didn't throw a touchdown, but he did have 70 rushing yards, helping the Bears to a total of 179. Really, this comes down to Caleb driving his team down the field when it mattered, escaping a sack, and throwing a dart on 3rd and 20 to keep the drive going. Everyone gave Bo Nix a lot of credit for putting the Broncos in position to beat the Chiefs with the field goal, and I think Caleb Williams actually deserves that same amount of grace against the Bears' biggest rivals. His best throws came on that final drive. I'd probably give him some more credit if he could, figure out how to not go a month without a touchdown pass, but baby steps. Baby steps. Caleb did the same thing in that Hail Mary loss to the Commanders, if you recall. Losing coach's decision, Matt Eberflus with the timeout and 30 seconds on the clock decided to not run a play to, make the game-winning kick a little easier. Whenever you have a chance to help your kicker, do not do it, Matt. Winning soundbite goes to Matt LaFleur for, inserting.
Just the tip, though.
After the game.
Blasted his backside.
Just the tip, though.
Winning game manager, you probably didn't picture the Seahawks beating the 49ers in San Francisco without a few touchdown passes from Geno Smith. At least one, right? He threw 0. He actually threw a pick, too. He wasn't particularly impressive all day, but when the chips were on the table, he turned on the Jets and used his legs to win the game for Seattle with just 12 seconds left in the 4th quarter, telling the crowd to go night-night whilst only throwing for a single pick. That's why I love Geno Smith. Losing streak? While the Pack kept their win streak alive against the Bears, Brock Purdy lost for the first time ever to the Seahawks. The 49ers were without George Kittle. Christian McCaffrey did have 100 all-purpose yards, but when San Francisco needed to close it out, Brock Purdy airmailed this throw to Deebo Samuel. Returning to the question I ask every week, did a white corner get an interception? No, but shout out to the exciting whites in Philly. God, you're exciting. Winning receiver? Amon Ra, ra ra ra, ra 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 ra, ra 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 ra, ra 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 ra, St. Brown. The Lions beat the living hell out of the Jaguars. And in other news, the sky is blue and Bo Nix is the best rookie of the year. No surprise here. St. Brown has scored a touchdown in 8 straight games for the Lions, and he added 2 against Jacksonville. It wasn't just the scores, though. He snagged 11 passes for 161 yards. Also, we got to give a shout out to Jameson Williams, who had 124 yards on just 4 receptions. The Lions offense looks like a track meet, and Ben Johnson looks like he's convinced the track meet officials to let them run downhill while everyone else gets a 9% incline. They are so much goddamn fun right now, and they improved to 9-1. Losers, the biggest losers, the Jags. The Lions offense outgained them by 475 yards, something that hasn't been done in 45 years. Detroit has scored 52 points for the second time this season. They had more touchdowns than the Jags had points. It's crazy that this massive Brian Branch hit wasn't the worst part of the beatdown. Detroit has a streak of 24 straight games with a rushing TD. That's the longest streak in NFL history when you include the postseason, and watching Jahmyr Gibbs run is like watching Jackson Pollock jag off. You know art when you see it. Only Mahomes award? Well, that's going to Justin Herbert, who was darting up the Bengals defense, but the best throw he had was this jump throw across his body to Quentin Johnston in the end zone. Good Lord, this was a thing of beauty. I wonder how many Lululemon slacks Jim Harbaugh had to cycle through for the evening.
Put it wherever he wants right now.
Just the tip, though.
Despite all those beautiful throws, LA still had to battle their unseen enemy, chargering. Winning coach Jim Harbaugh for finally stopping the chargering. They did everything to lose this game, but they won. Don't get it twisted. The Chargers offense, after scoring 24 points in the first half, while their defense held Cincy to just 6, nearly were the bed shitters this week. That unit did nothing in the second half, while their defense gave up 21. Joe Burrow had another astronomical stat line in a loss, 356 passing yards, 3 TDs, no picks. T. Higgins and Jamar Chase combined for 3 touchdowns and over 200 yards, but dear God, Evan McPherson missing 2 potential game winners, or at the very least game tires, is just what Harbaugh needed to rid LA of charging. How'd LA survive? Justin Herbert, who was also the team's leading rusher with 65 yards, tossed my FDR of the week to Ladd McConkey with 26 seconds left in the game. Ladd had a $123, and then J.K. Dobbins essentially ended the Bengals season when he closed out the game with a 29-yard touchdown run. Winning stat, Justin Herbert, who we've all universally agreed is not clutch, has 15 game-winning drives in his career. That's 3rd since 2020, and the only guys who have more are Patrick Mahomes and Kirk Cousins. This is great, but in all fairness, Herbert put himself in that position with an egregious second half, and he did have about 5 chances to mount a game-winning drive in the last 4 minutes of regulation, just like he did against the Jags in the playoffs a few years ago. But I am glad he eventually got it done. The revenge daggers going to Patrick Queen. The former Raven forced to fumble and recovered a fumble on the same play against Baltimore. And Mike Tomlin didn't pass up the chance to talk some well-deserved shit after the game.
You know, one man's trash is another man's treasure, man. I'm glad he is on our team.
Only time will tell if the Ravens ousting a queen for a king was ultimately the correct chess move. The bed shitters, the Baltimore Ravens. The Chargers tried so desperately to shit that bed, but Jim Harbaugh was the pair of depends that kept the poop from hitting the sheets. But that was not the case for his brother. Baltimore was the beneficiary of what was probably the worst Russell Wilson game in Pittsburgh so far, but Lamar outsucked him completing under 50% of his passes with a pick of his own. Russ's pick was dumb. Lamar, though, just watched in horror as justice was taken from the hill by Peyton Wilson in the fourth quarter. In a reversal of fortune from their win last week, Baltimore got in the end zone with just over a minute to go, but like Cincy last Thursday, were unable to punch it in on a 2-point conversion. No egregious penalties, however. Rest assured, though, this doesn't all fall on Lamar. Justin Tucker, I'm sorry, they had to stop making the gold jacket. It's just a gold vest now. You have to make some big kicks to earn those sleeves back, my friend. Thanks for watching That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. You gotta subscribe. Click that notification button. We make a lot of football videos here. And don't forget to come back tomorrow for power rankings because the curse wheel is back. It is back. And I think I know how it works.